Hey friends, welcome to another tutorial. Today we are making this extra long cardigan and it is very easy to make. The starting chains determines the length of your piece. So if you want to make a shorter cardigan, then you begin with less chains. If you want it long, then you make longer chains. The construction is very simple. We make panels first as one piece, then make sleeves separately and then seam them onto the panels, and then we finish it up. I hope you are going to have fun with this one. Let's begin. The materials we need: 5mm hook, 4mm hook, yarn needle, tape measure, pair of scissors, and worsted weight yarn or yarn number 4. I'm trying this hobby yarn for the first time and I am excited to see how it all turns out. Let's begin our tutorial. If you know me, you know I like foundation chains. So for this tutorial, I'm going to make a foundation double crochet. So I'm going to start with a slip knot. You can use the traditional chains and then work from there. For me, I just like the neat look of it, and I don't need to worry about the turning chains. Okay, so I'm going to chain 3, yarn over, pull up a loop, and I have done my first stitch. Because my yarn is very fuzzy, it's hard to see my stitches very well. So work on your foundation chain or your starting chain, and then we will meet for the second row. I have my foundation chain. It is very long, 360. Okay, so we are moving on. I'm going to chain 1 and then turn the work. On this row we are doing half double crochet. It's very simple. You are alternating double crochet and half double crochet. I want to explain how you figure out how many stitches or how many inches you need for each panel. So I have 19 inches here for me. My bust is 38, so I divided 38 by 2 and got 19. So this would be the length or the width of my panel when it's laid flat. And I want my neck opening to be 4 inches. So I removed 4 from 19 and I got 15. And then you divide the 15 by 2 to get the 7.5. So for me, my front panel should be 7.5 before I move to my neck opening. I'm going to work however many rows I need, keep measuring. When I get to 75, I'm going to fold my panels in half, then put a stitch marker. That's where I'm going to start working just on the back panel until I reach my 4 inches, and then after that again I continue to have extra stitches for my front panel. We are done with the first part of the pattern, which is the front panel and the back panel. Now we have to work on the neck opening. So the front panel is 7.5 inches wide. If you remember, here, we got the 7.5, which I just measured. Now we are getting into this part where we have to fold our panels together so that we have the equal number of stitches. Sorry about that. So this marker here is the center of my stitches. So I have 180 stitches on each side. So this will be the front, this will be the back. From here I'm working my stitches all the way to this marker until I get my 4 inches, which will be for the neck opening. We are continuing with our alternating stitches between double crochet and half double crochet. I'm gonna chain 2 and turn my work. So half double crochet on the first stitch, and I am going to repeat this until I get to my marker. I am done with the neck opening, and it measures about 4, maybe and a quarter. Now we are moving on to the second part of the pattern, which is the other side of the panel. So you're gonna have the same number of rows that you had for this to have your width of your cardigan. So we're going to continue here with this one. I'm going to chain the same number of the front panel, which for me is 180 plus the turning chain. So I will need 182. I need to chain 182. So it will be 180 for the panel, and then the other 2 is for the turning chain. So do your part and chain the number of stitches you need, or chains you need, to match the other side of the panel. I'll meet you guys after I'm done with my chains. Okay, I have my chains here. The last stitch that was used was half double crochet, so we are going to do double crochet next. I already included my turning chain, so I got 2 already. On the 3rd chain I am making a double crochet. I am going to do this, continue over here until the other end of the row to work on my other panel. I have worked on the chains for the front panel, and already worked the chain for the continuation of the panel to the back. So this is the first stitch from the neck opening, and we are going to repeat the same thing that we did on the other side. I'm going to keep alternating my stitches, double crochet and half double crochet, until I have the same number of rows as the other side. Finish up your panel. So right now I need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I need to make 20 rows. So this is my first one. I need 19 more rows to have a complete back and front panel. I'll meet you guys after I am done. We are moving on to making our sleeves. I've already made one, and it involves increasing. So this is starting from the wrist all the way to around your elbow or before your elbow, and then the rest goes all the way. I will provide some increase ideas for every size from extra small to 5XL, so it can give you an idea of what to do. This is based on the assumption that, like here for me, it measures 8.5 inches, so it differs for every size. Assuming you are making extra small, for example, your wrist size will be 7.5. For size small is 8, medium 8.5, large 9. So you increase by 0.5 each for each size. Okay, and I need my sleeve length to be 47 rows. So from the bottom all the way here, it's 20 rows, and then the rest there's no increase. I will provide you with increases on the next slide, so you can tweak it however you want. I just want to give you an idea of how to do this so that you can get a correct size measurement for the forearm and then the rest of your sleeve length, depending on how long your sleeve is. Okay, let's begin. For my 8.5 inch like wrist circumference, I need 32 chains, and we are going to start with foundation double crochet. So we're gonna start with a slip knot, and then chain 3. So this is my first chain, and I am going to do this until I reach my 32 stitches or chains. I am done my 32 chains. We are moving on, and in the second row we are starting our increases. Okay, so I'm going to chain 1 and then make 2 double crochet on the very first stitch. Remember, our first chain, it was double crochet, and we are alternating double crochet and half double crochet. And then I'm going to make double crochet on each stitch until we reach the last one, where we are going to make 2 double crochet stitches on that. We are on the very last stitch, and I am going to make 2 double crochet on the same spot. So we have increased our stitches with 2 extras. Okay, the next row, there's no increase. We're just gonna make 1 double crochet on each stitch. I'm gonna chain 2 and turn my work, and then make the double crochet on each stitch. With this one, we do not need to increase. So this will be the time to use the next slide to see where you increase, where you do not need to increase. I am done with row 3, which was not an increase, and the next row I am increasing again. So it's the 2 stitches on the first stitch and 2 stitches at the end. I am going to repeat this until I have 52 stitches, or my sleeve measures 14 inches. 14 inches or maybe around 36 centimeters. Let's see. So yeah, it's right like 14 and maybe one quarter. Okay, so this is how wide my sleeve is gonna be. So depending on how wide your sleeve is going to be, you keep increasing until you get your armpit depth width. Okay, okay, I'm going to increase with you one more time. Chain 1 and make 2 double crochet on the first stitch. Okay, and then the rest is just a normal stitch until you are left with 1, and then you make 2 stitches on that 1 stitch. I will meet you guys after I am done with my increases. Okay, I am done with increases. My sleeve is 14.5 inches. Okay, so from here I'm just going to make a normal combination of double crochet and single crochet like we've been doing without any increases. So it's gonna be like a rectangle from now on here until I reach 17 inches long. My sleeve length is 17 inches. Okay, gonna chain 2 and make a double crochet on each stitch until end of the row. Done with the first row of no increases, because now we are building more like a rectangle. If you look closely after here, it just becomes a straight edge, and that's what we are working on right now. So this is, we are basically right here, the first row. Okay, chain 1 and turn your work, and then we are doing the same thing, double crochet on each stitch. Work on your end until you have your desired sleeve length, and then we will meet when I am done with my sleeve. I am done with my 47 rows for the sleeve, so this is how it looks folded. Okay, so I'm gonna leave long enough tail to seam to the panel later. Cut the yarn and then fasten off. Okay, now we are moving on to this side. We are adding ribbing to our sleeve. I'm going to insert the hook and then pull up a loop, and I am going to chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, next we are making a single crochet on each. Well, you're gonna skip the first chain, and then you're going to make a single crochet on each chain. So you're gonna end up with 10, because the other chain was the turning chain. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We get one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, my bad, I didn't count properly. Okay, so we are going to, this was the first stitch. We are going to make a slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. Okay, slip stitch 1, slip stitch, slip stitch 2, and then you turn your work. All right, you do not chain 1 on this. From here we are making our single crochet in the back loop. This one, we got front loop and back loop. This time around we are making single crochet in the back loop. This is what creates a ribbing for us. Three, and the last one I like to make it into both loops. I insert the hook on both loops, and then chain 1 and turn. The first one, you are inserting your hook on both loops, okay, and make a single crochet. The rest you are making in the back loop. We are going back to making 2 slip stitches in the next 2 stitches. So first slip stitch 1, slip stitch 2. Oh, I inserted in the wrong. Slip stitch number 2. You turn, and then you continue to do the same thing as we did. single crochet in the back loop until the last one where you insert it on both loops. You are going to repeat this until end of your sleeve. So we'll meet when I am done my sleeve as well. All right, I finished my ribbing for the sleeve. This is the last piece of it. I have a very long tail left here, so I am gonna leave a long tail. Well, ideally you leave a double the length of your sleeve for you to seam later. Okay, I'm gonna cut the yarn and fasten off, and we are moving on to seaming next. Okay guys, we are moving on to the next part of the tutorial. So this is the back panel and this is the sleeve. So I've laid the panel flat. This is the neck opening. So this stitch marker here is the end or the beginning of the panel. So this is the back panel, this is the front panel. Remember at the beginning I chained 360 stitches. So this is this is the 180th stitch, and what I did is I counted my number of stitches and put the stitch marker right in the middle. So you can count from one side to the next until you meet at the middle. This will be the middle of your sleeve, and then we are going to seam it along the panels. Okay, let's begin. All right, let's go ahead and start seaming our sleeve to the panel. I have put a stitch marker here which helped me to count the stitches to the center, so I have the same number of stitches for this and the panels. Okay, it's just the guide. I'm using a mattress stitch. I'm just inserting my needle on both loops on top of each stitch. We will meet at the end of the sleeve after we are done. Okay, you do your part and then we will meet after we are all done. Now that we are done seaming the sleeve to the panels, we are going to seam the sleeve together. I left a long tail at the end after the ribbing, so we are going to seam our sleeve from the ribbing all the way to the armpit. Okay, let's begin. Align your ribbing together so you have you'll be able to insert the needle on each stitch across from each other. I've already inserted yarn into my needle. I'm using the same stitch to seam my sleeve together. Seaming the sleeve is pretty easy because all what you need to do is to align your stitches. So you are going to align your half double crochet and double crochet and just seam along. So go ahead and do your sleeve, and we will both of them, and we will meet. Oh, let's just finish this one and then we will continue to do the side of the cardigan. We will meet at the armpit depth when we have done the length of the sleeve. Okay, the sleeve is done. We are moving on to the side panel. So this is the front and this is the back. Gonna continue doing the same thing as you did on the sleeve until you reach leave about 10 inches at the bottom. So this will be a side split. There will be an opening at the bottom of your cardigan. Make sure you have the same number of stitches for the front panel and the back panel. Okay, count them first. If you got 30 on top, you should have 30 at the bottom. Then you know you got same number of stitches and they measure 10 inches. So do both sides. Seam the other side of the sleeve and then continue on the side of the panel, leaving 10 inches on each side, and then we will meet again to finish up with ribbing for our collar. Now that we are done seaming our cardigan, this is the side split, sorry. We are gonna work ribbing at the bottom. So this is one of the front panel and this is the back panel. We're gonna start with this front panel. Okay, we are going to make like a base, so we are going to work single crochet along these stitches and then move on to ribbing. So we're just gonna insert the hook at the bottom here and pull up a loop. I'm just going to hold this and bring it along so that I weave in the ends as I crochet. I'm going to chain one and then in the same spot make a single crochet. I'm going to just use my discretion here, insert the hook around or just distribute the stitches evenly. Okay, so you don't leave gaps or you don't make the stitches to bunch together. This part is a little bit tedious, but once you create this base, it will be easier for our ribbing. So we will meet at the end of my panel. Okay. Okay, so here is my base for my panel. Next I am going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My yarn is getting tangled here. Okay, so we are going to skip the first chain and make a single crochet on the next chain. Okay, I have my chain. Okay, I had to fix my cardigan, it was all tangled. Okay, next, so these are the 7 stitches we made. Next we are going to make a slip stitch in the next 2 stitches here. My first slip stitch, my second slip stitch, and then turn my work and then work my stitches again. So you remember you need to have 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first stitch is going to go here. We are going to make a single crochet in the back loop. This creates our ribbing. And then on the last stitch I insert my hook on both loops. My yarn is fuzzy, so sometimes it's hard to see. Okay, so we are done with this part. We're gonna chain 1 and turn our work. Going to repeat the same thing. The first stitch you insert the hook on both loops, and then the rest you are doing it in the back loop, and then make a single crochet. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need one more stitch. Where did my stitch go? Okay, one more stitch, and then from here the next 2 stitches again we are repeating. Slip stitch number 1, slip stitch number 2. You turn your work and repeat. So you are going to do this, the ribbing, on both, all the panels. So this is my front panel number 1. Next I'm going to do the back panel and then the other panel. Remember, you have to create a base first, so it will be easier to see when you make your slip stitches. I'll meet you guys when we are all done the bottom ribbing. Okay, I am done with the bottom ribbing. Now we are going to work on the ribbing for the front. So it's gonna start at the bottom, go all around the neckline, and then go all the way back to the other side at the bottom. The ribbing on this one is gonna be a little bit different. It's not gonna be like this one. So let's begin. I'm done with the second row. This is the first, this is the second. I'm going to chain 1 and then turn our work. We are still working on the third loop. We have the 2 loops in front of us, which is much easier this way. 1, 2, 3. So this time around we are inserting the hook on the third one. After this, it gets pretty easy. You will be repeating this row and then like this row and this row. You are inserting your hook in the back loop throughout. So I'm going to repeat this all around and then make 2 more. I want to have, when I look at this on the right side like it is right now, I want to count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so do on your side, make however wide you want your front ribbing to be. For me, I just want 5, or maybe I'll see how it looks after the 5th row. If I feel like I want to add more, then I'll do that, but for now I'm gonna go with just 5. Let's work the last few stitches together. This is my 5th row for my front ribbing, and for this one I'm just going to make it into 2 loops just to finish up. Okay, so here's how it looks. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the back. So I'm going to cut the yarn and fasten off. Here we go, guys. We are done with our tutorial. All you need to do now is to weave in any ends that you have, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did. Be sure to check more of the free patterns on my website. This would also be on the website as well. If you have not already subscribed, please subscribe, share the video with your friends and family. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and please don't share your finished products with me so that I can tag them on my pages to showcase your beautiful pieces. I will see you guys in the next tutorial.